Hi, this is Yahoo. I'm a crypto trader. Today is March 16, 2026. It's 8:19 a.m. Japan time. Let's start by looking back at the last week's market. Last Friday, the Nikkei closed at 5380 yen. Right now, the CFD is around 5338 yen, so it's slightly lower. But overall, the market seems to be recovering rather than weakening. Last Monday, we saw a sharp drop and the Nikkei abruptly fell into the 51000 yen range. But after that, the market rebounded. So last week was mainly a week where the Iran situation shocked to the market a bit. But in the end, we did not see a full collapse. The volatility index jumped quite sharply during the move. Right now, it's around 45.8. At one point, it reached about 57, which was a very rapid spike. And even now, it's still in the 14s, so you could say the market is still experiencing aftershocks. The Nikkei PL is 19.67 and EPS is 2736 cm. EPS has declined a bit. Recently, it had been moving around 2800 yen level, so the drop is noticeable. However, the Nikkei itself had seen and been rallying strongly before this. Because of that rally, investors were sitting substantial unrealized gains. The excursion probably acted as a defensive buffer, preventing the market from collapsing. There are also political factors last week. For example, discussions at the G7 about strategic oil reserves, and those moves may have helped stabilize the market somewhat. Of course, we still have to keep watching the Iran situation. Trump's comments changed very frequently, so instead of focusing too much on his words, it's probably more important to look at the larger structural direction in the situation. Now, looking at the US market, it still feels weaker compared to Japan. The S&P is around 6632 point. Momentum is currently negative, and the VIX is around 27.19, which is quite elevated. Also, the MOVE index, which reflects volatility in the bond market, has risen to about 91.27. 91 move index 91, seeing the bond market start to shake, like this is something we have not seen for a while. Gold is around $5019, moving moderately. Bitcoin is trading in the 7000 range. So overall, the global market experienced a big shake last week, but it did not fully break down. It feels more like the market is incomplete and unfinished, as if the move did not fully dissolve itself. Part of that reason might be the G7 effect, but also the fact that Japanese equities had been extremely strong beforehand. Many investors were already holding profit, so when volatility appeared, they were able to watch the situation with some margin of comfort. Now, in terms of timing, we have just WBC and also G7 events. And WBC should finish this week, and World Cup begin in June. So April and May might become a kind of quiet period in terms of global events. And that could be an important window to watch. Right now, the Iran issue is present, but it does not feel like a full escalation yet. However, some interesting themes are appearing in news. For example, the situation around um, Kaga in Iran, Japan's rare earth development in Minami Torishima, and discussion about the domestic resource production. When we step back, the big theme here is resource geopolitics. in the age of AI era, and the key question becomes how resources are developed, allocated, and controlled. There are two major themes here. The first in technology-driven resource development, like Japan's rare earth extraction. The second in international supply constraints, such as the strategic importance of strains of Hormuz. And these two falls together influence energy price and ultimately how the global economy navigate AI-driven demand surge. So, in many ways, the issue can be summarized under that one big concept: resource geopolitics. Um, right now in 2026, I would say three themes are particularly important: AI-related supply dynamics, energy and the trains of homes, and rare earth development near militarism. As these themes continue to surface, the key question will be how the market reacted them structurally. One thing that will concern me a bit to the United States. Japan has been extremely strong, but the US still looks somewhat too weak. Because of that, the global market may become more US centric gain in times of risk. Today is in Monday, so the market is relatively quiet, but we will keep watching these developments carefully as we position ourselves in the market. Thank you for listening. And it's your right to follow my contents. Please image it as taking a long boot on the future. I'll see you again tomorrow.